Guys, making money with Gary. Today is December 5th, 2024, and I'm showing you. I've been putting a floor in the bathroom, and I got this Pergo floor, and I'll tell you what, I would not recommend this. I would recommend getting a rollout, and if you're not comfortable with the rollout, have somebody do it. It'll be cheaper than using this stuff. But what happened is, let me show you what happened real quick. What happened was I had a leak in the wall here. I painted the wall. There's a stain here. It ain't coming out. I got to get stain blocker, I know. But it's all right. The toilet's going to go right up against this. So look, I cut out right here in the wall. You can see where I cut out. I didn't cover it up with nothing. I could have covered this up, puttied it or whatever, in case in the future if I have to go in there. And if I ever had another leak. The leak was in the shower, which is on the other side of this wall. And it leaked into the floor. And the floor was all moving and stuff. I could feel it moving like it was caving in. So the floor was I think 1.25 inches of plywood. It was only one sheet. It wasn't plywood, it was particle board. The cheapest. I don't like particle board, especially in the bathroom. So look, I ended up ripping a big piece of the floor out. All around here, around the shower, everywhere. I cut it all out with a saw. I had to take everything out. That's why now you're looking at the where the toilet's going to go, and the floor's a lot higher. You can see the floor's higher. Well, what happened was I got 5/8 plywood, and I double layered it. And I double layered it, and what I did was I overlapped. So this way it's strong. It makes it really a really strong floor. Because you got one layer on the bottom, and then the second one overlaps that on the top, and it makes it a strong floor. So I double layered it with 5/8 twice. And I screwed them all into the beams, and I even changed some beams under there that were bad. So I did all that. Now the floor ain't perfectly level underneath. It's not perfect, and it's not going to be perfect. This home here is 25 years old or something. So the floor ain't perfect. You know, things move, things happen. You know, a house settles, whatever. So I got this Pergo floor, and boy, was that a big mistake. I should have just got a rollout, and it would have been quick and easy. And even if I paid somebody a couple $100 to come in here and roll it out, it would have been done. But look, I got this Pergo floor at $80 a box. I went through, this is the 5th box here. So it's kind of like snaps together, and it's a vinyl Pergo. It goes for like, I think $4 a square foot or something like that. I don't even know. I think it's higher. I mean, it's $80 a box. It's ridiculous. So I got this stuff. It's pretty thick. They guarantee it for life. Underneath the floor, I put this stuff here. I'm showing you this stuff. I put this under the floor, and I got you could get 1 to 5. I got 3 in the thickness. I didn't want to get it too thick because I was reading online. If they're too thick, what's going to happen is the floor is going to move and they're going to pop out. Well, I got 3, which is very thin. Put that underneath, and I taped it with this tape everywhere where I cut seams. You know, because that's like a waterproof. It's styrofoam on one side, foil on the other, on that top side. So I put all these. I started out back here in the corner here with this Pergo floor. And this is a closet in the bathroom. This is our master bathroom. It has a big giant bathtub, and it has a shower. So here is where the toilet's going to go, right here. The toilet, you can see it's down in the floor. I had this. I got this to cover. I got to even cover it again. The cat's in here. I didn't know the cat was in here. So look, I got a kitten in here, and I don't want her going in the floor. So I got a thick ring. This ring is really thick. It's for this floor because the floor is an inch down below the floor above. Because I got a double layer with plywood and everything I have. So I'm going to show you a trick what I did, guys. Because you're supposed to put this foam stuff along the wall. And then you push it in with something like this. And you just push it in, see? And you put it all along the walls, and that's what I did. I put it all along. And it's supposed to keep the floor from moving. Let me tell you something. It don't happen like that. This floor is moving. These things were popping. I had to pull the whole floor up and start all over and work my way out again. I mean, pull it up in, little sections. And then pop them back, do it, and just get all the way back. I had stuff holding them, yes. I followed the instructions to the T. And I used 1/4-inch pieces of this stuff here to go along the edges like that to hold the floor out, to hold it tight. Well, let me tell you, they still moved. So what I did was I come up with my own method. And I would not recommend this floor to anybody. Do not buy this stuff. It's good quality, but it's, forget it. Really, forget it. I've been doing construction my whole life, off and on. I've owned rental houses in the past. I'm not bragging or nothing. In the past, when I was younger, I owned rental properties. I changed roofs, I changed floors, I did all the electrical, I did everything. So I'm kind of a jack of everything. I was a mason. I had a mason business. I did go to school for it. I did a lot of carpentry work. I did a lot of different things. I drove a tractor trailer. Okay, I don't want to get into all this stuff. But look, I want to show you what I come up with. This is garbage. I would never buy this. I don't mean to knock the product. It's really good quality. It's strong stuff. But they pop out, and they're made for something that's perfect. The floor has to be perfectly level. If the floor is off by 1/8 of an inch, these things are going to pop, forget it. And there is no such thing as a perfectly level floor, unless you have a brand new house you're putting these in. If you put these in a brand new house, you're going to have a perfectly level floor. Do not put these in a house if it's 20 years or older. Especially if you had to rip up some floor and change some flooring because you had a major plumbing leak. You had to change beams and stuff. Do not use this stuff. Don't use it. Get the roll out. Get the thick, expensive roll out. And pay somebody to put it in. Pay somebody a couple $100 to come in and roll it out and put it in. You're done. Pull your toilet, put your toilet back when they're done. Pull your vent, let them cut around everything, and then make sure everything goes back. But don't buy this stuff. $80 a box. I spent $400 on this. I spent $100 on the stuff that goes underneath it. I spent a little bit of money, not much, maybe $20 on this stuff. I got a bunch of it. I got to put it to the wall. I got liquid nail. I'm going to liquid nail this to the wall. So you go like this, liquid nail, and then you put it in the wall like that. You liquid nail it to the wall. And then you push it in, you hold it, and it'll stick. So, that's how it's done. But look, what I came up with, that's our kitty cat. She's in here now, that's why I got to cover the drain again. I put screws. I put these screws. Now I drill a big hole, probably a 1/4 inch hole with this. Oh boy, I drill a 1/4 inch hole with this big screw. Then with this little screw, I drill through the plywood. So then, the big hole first for this stuff, and then the little hole for the plywood underneath. And then I put the screws in, and it keeps these from moving back and forth. And I only put 2 on this side, 2 in the middle here. And over here I put 1 in that one, 1 in this one, 1 in that one, and 2 in this one. And I even snuck one in here, guys, by the toilet. But the toilet's gonna cover that. So you ain't gonna see that. The toilet's gonna cover that. So I gotta keep this covered. Got a kitten in here. So that's my little technique to keep these from moving. And I'm going to, yeah, I had to cut the vent out. I got a whole bunch of strips of this stuff here. I got a bunch of strips I got to put down. So look, if you're going to do your bathroom floor and you're doing it with something, don't use it. But I highly unrecommend this. Don't use this stuff. Don't use it. Unless you're going to hire somebody to do it and pay through the nose, because this stuff is so expensive. It's so much a square foot. It comes out to $80 a box, and it took 5 boxes to do a bathroom, which is, you know, that's a piece. That's how big they are. It looks like real marble. We had, believe it or not, we had a real marble floor in here, and we ripped it all out. It was moving up and down because of the, you know, the water leak and stuff. So I said, you know what, let me try this stuff. I thought this was great. Oh yeah, it looked good. You know, I read about it. I looked online. Everybody recommended it. It's no good. It's no good. Get a rollout floor. Get a rollout floor. Go with anything but this stuff. Even put real marble down. I'm not putting real marble down because we had a leak and I seen what a big problem it was. So I put this down, but I do not recommend this. Now I got to put this in the bathroom, in the closet here. I got to go all along the wall. Poppy, what are you doing, Poppy? Yeah, I got to go all along the wall here, and see how I went in with the all along the tub back here. I still got to push it in. Still got to cover it up. Here's the tub. The tub is I know that's a cheap level. I had the good wood levels. You know, I was a mason. I had all the mason tools. I had a wood level, a big 4-foot wood level. I had wood levels, I had string lines, the whole 9 yards. I did mason work. I did block work. I did a lot of concrete work, and interlocking pavers, you name it. Footings, foundations, plastered walls, did a whole that stuff. You know, I used to do the outside walls. I plastered the walls and stuff. Put 3 coats, scratch coats, you know, 2nd, 3rd coat. Seal the walls for a footing foundation. All right. So I'm done with this. I'm ready to drop the toilet. It was hard cutting for this vent. I had to cut around to make sure the vent would go in. A couple of cuts were crazy cuts and really tricky. Cutting around the toilet was tricky, but look, you cut around the toilet, don't have to be straight because your toilet's going to cover that hole. Don't even worry about that. All right, I painted the back wall here, you know, to make it look good, because I ain't gonna be able to paint back here when I know there's a stain that came through the wall. But look, I'm gonna drop the toilet. It's going right up against the wall. It's gonna be right here against the wall. So you ain't even gonna see that stain that blotted through. I'm gonna look out in the shed and see if I have stain blocker in the shed, because I think I do. I have a little bit of white stain blocker, and I'll put it over. I put like 5 coats. I mean, I really did it, and I only did this one area because, you know, we had a water leak. We had problems here, so I had to make it all look pretty, you know, make it look halfway decent. Because I ain't gonna, once that toilet's in, I'm not gonna be able to paint back here. So, but I could paint everywhere else. But I could paint everywhere else. I just can't paint there. So, all right, guys. I just want to show you with these Pergo floors. You know, if you're gonna do them, and look under here. I got to go underneath here. Oh, that's kind of tricky going under there. I'm almost done. All I got to do is lay this, all I got to do is glue this stuff to the walls. And I'm going to do, and then I drop the toilet and I'm done. I mean, there's certain spots, like right here, I ain't going around all this with this. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. No. And do a cut and all that, and do the cut and everything, and put this like that, and then have that thing, that gap. No. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm coming right out to here with this. Right to here. Right to there. This here, I'm going to cork it. I'm going to get bathroom cork that's mold resistant. Then I'm dropping a piece of this right here all along the wall. This little intricate stuff here, I'm corking this. I ain't doing You think I'm going to spend 20 hours cutting all that stuff? No. I'm corking some spots, and I'm going to cut in others. But I ain't. Hey, I did construction a big part of my life. My father used to buy houses and sell them. Plus, he worked a regular job. He worked 2 jobs, and he used to drag me along with him at times. I was a little kid, and I would be, he also had a roofing thing where he did roofing. Him and my uncle and my older brother and my cousins, and I did all that. I did roofing. I know roofing inside out. I even worked for a roofer another time. I worked with my father. I had my own roofing business at one time. I did all that stuff. He used to buy old houses, and he could take them old windows with the weights in the walls and putty them up, and it looked so professional. He was very good with everything, electrical, plumbing, you name it. And I learned from him. And I mean, my father, he was from back in the day. He was from, the man was born in 1925 or 1924. He was from back in the day, man. And back then they made everything. And he could take anything and just take a scrap of wood and make it look like gold. So I worked with him with houses. He had some old houses that he had bought that were like from maybe 1900 or stuff, and he would replicate stuff in the house to do a repair, and he was really good. And he'd show me how to do different things. And all right. But I'm just telling you, so I learned from a master. And yes, I did roofing with him. I did roofing with with a big company. I did construction. I worked with a mason. I went to school to be a mason later on. Way later on in life, I went to school for HVAC. I had an HVAC business. I did that. Oh boy, was that a bad business, because that business there's a lot of money to be made. You can make tons of money. I'd make $30,000 in a month sometimes. But let me tell you about HVAC. HVAC is it's really tough, because you charge the people so much money they feel like they're getting robbed, and a lot of times they are. I mean, so the HVAC, I was in that business. I made tons of money, but boy, customers really don't like what you charge them. And sometimes you can't help it because the stuff's so expensive. I know I got to clean all this up. I haven't, this room here I've been cutting stuff, and sawdust has been flying all over. And now once all this is done, I got to clean everything. So, all right, guys, I want you to see how it's done. And, go by my recommendations. Do not get this floor, because these things keep popping out. You'll put them in, they'll pop out. I put these things back in, and they popped out, and I got the rubber hammer and the little trowel thing. I got everything, like they said. These will pop out on you. If your floor is off by a millimeter, by a freaking 32nd of an inch in difference, these things are going to pop on you. So if for some reason you bought these things and you're doing it right now, once you get everything in, and you have them popping on you the next day or something after you walk on them because you're doing like a trial and error thing, making sure they're not going to pop out before you liquid nail the ends in and you can't get nothing out. Because that's what happens. Once I liquid nail the edges, I can't pull these out and redo them. That's it. I'll be ripping everything apart because of liquid nail. So look, if you have this floor, drill the holes like I did and put the screws, and then go along. Same thing. By the bathtub, that's an angle. That wall's an angle. So you do the same thing. Put the screws. Because these things, they will move. Believe me, they will move. And I don't care what the instructions say, how to do them. Because I follow the instructions to a T. And like I said, I've done tons of... It would have been easier and cheaper for me to put real marble down. For me to put real marble down, it would have been $1 a square foot, plus the plaster. It would have, I mean, plus the, the cement, the stuff you put down with them, the whatever you use to put down with them. I mean, it would have been a lot cheaper, than, I'm saying cement because I was a mason. I did outside mason work. But with the marble floors, you use some kind of grout. It's a little different. It's for inside. It goes over the plywood because you're going over plywood. You're not. It's different. Different animal. But don't get these. Do not get them. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna be playing with and it makes you look stupid because I mean, I've even got the rollout floor and I cut it and took my time cutting it and I was way quick in doing this stuff. This stuff here, I put all these down. I had them pop on me, put them back, did it again, had them pop. I put the edges in, put pieces of blocks of wood in to hold them from moving. It was very careful, did everything. And I still had them pop out. Now look, we were using this tub and stuff for different stuff, and so that, because the floor wasn't completely finished, but still, they shouldn't have popped out like that. I mean, so because I have done marble in my one house. I've done it, but the house was on, it was on concrete. It was on a slab. So that was regular grout. So I have done a marble floor in the house. I gutted the whole house and redid it up and then sold it and made a good amount of money on it. But I did the sheetrock, everything. But I did that floor with real marble. But this stuff here, $500, $500+ and you got to play with it to put it in? No. Marble, a diamond saw, cut it, put it in, measure your pieces, make little stencil, take pieces of paper and put them in a spot and then, trace around and then cut the piece to that, use that to trace the piece that you're going to cut and do it. And it's quick and easy. And the marble's 1, 2, 3. Once it's in, it ain't coming out. The only reason I didn't use it, like I said, is because we had a leak. And them things were going up and down on the floor. I was walking like I was walking on a bed. And so when I ripped them out, I said, oh no, I'm not doing this again. So I ripped them out. But not that we shouldn't have any more leaks, but you never know. They don't use copper pipes in today's world, but they use these this PVC stuff. I mean, it's good, but it leaks. Sometimes it leaks, and then you have problems. So, the old copper pipes, boy, they last forever. You'd see them in the house for 50, 60 years, and it's still there. This stuff here, because everything, it goes right up into where the faucets are and stuff, and it leaks, I mean, yeah, everything leaks. And yes, you have to change washers and stuff. I know all that. But, just learn from my mistake on this one. Don't buy this stuff. Do not buy it. If you're going to do a floor, like I said, get a rollout or get something else. Don't get this lock intricate stuff. You know what I really wanted to get and put in here? And I was going to do it, but it's so damn expensive. I backed out of it. But not this parquet stuff. Not that the parquet is really good, but no. Real wood. I wanted to get real wood tongue and groove. And I'm surprised like nobody makes real wood tongue and groove. Not this stuff. Real wood tongue and groove. Because you put down real wood tongue and groove. I don't mean the outside stuff that goes outside on the house because that's going to be too flimsy. But real wood tongue and groove, and I don't mean that real expensive stuff that you got to pay $1,000 a foot or something. I mean just like real wood tongue and groove that I could just put down and polyurethane over it, and you'd have a nice floor, look like a sheet of glass. Yeah. That's what that was my real goal, to do something like that. But, all right, guys. Over and out. So look, I know I'm going to get some comments like, oh no, you should have did it this way, you should have did it that way, blah, blah, blah. And I do this all the time and I don't have a problem. Yeah, but of course, if you do this in a new house on a flat level floor, it's going to go flat and level. And do I want to, play around? Do I want to spend a fortune? No. Do I want to pay somebody a fortune? No. So keep it simple. All right. Over and out.